Hello and welcome to Cannabis Marketing 101, a show where we take your questions about cannabis marketing and marijuana PR and break them down with the experts. I'm John Swoboda of Grasslands, and as always, please feel free to send all of your cannabis marketing and PR questions directly to me at johnjohn@mygrasslands.com. And as we have for the last number of days, I am joined here with my friend and colleague Ricardo Baca, AKA a two-time veteran of the TEDx stage, as well as the CEO of Grasslands, a journalism-minded agency. Ricardo, what's up?
Hey, man, I'm excited to see what we're going to be talking about today.
Yeah, me too. So as we've discussed over the last few episodes, we've been taking and gathering questions from our friends and colleagues in the cannabis industry from across the country that have to do with PR and cannabis marketing. We've been trying to answer those in the best way we can, show some knowledge, share some knowledge with our friends and colleagues. So let's go ahead and jump into today's question. So today's question comes from Alyssa in California, and she asks a question that is on everybody's mind. Why does my cannabis brand need an agency partner which is fluent in cannabis? There's a lot of agencies out there. What sets an agency that is fluent in cannabis apart from those who may not be?
Yeah, I like her wording here because fluent in cannabis, it speaks to the complexity of this plant, this industry, right? Because if you are not fluent in cannabis, imagine this. So you're a cannabis brand, John, right? You're looking for a PR partner, a marketing partner, a thought leadership partner. You onboard them, you sign the contract, and then you are then their education to this industry. They are learning on your dime. With any agency partner, you have only a limited number of hours per month. And so do you want an agency partner who can hop right in like we can at Grasslands, because we've been working among this industry since 2012, 2013. We can hop right in, speak the language, help you describe and communicate your complex messaging with people who don't understand the subject matter nearly as well as you, which is the media, the end consumer, as well as the customer. And so we can hop in and be right there. We are fluent in cannabis. I like that. Whereas you work with another agency and maybe they have had some clients before in the industry and maybe they have not. And they're starting at zero. And without that context, they have no idea what's news, what's happened before, either in the last 6+ years of adult use legalization, 20+ years of medical legalization, or 80+ years of prohibition. And of course, we're talking about thousands of years of use and medicinal use and medical efficacy. So I think having an agency's partner who speaks the language is necessary because inevitably, I always tell this to prospects, you are going to have to hold our hand and educate us on your brand. We want to know your brand intimately. We want to know your brand as well as you do because we will consider ourselves your strategic partner, your thought partner, and for us to be there at the forefront, developing messaging, voice, tonality for your brand, we need to have that deep understanding. And in the meantime, we have the cannabis part covered. We work with brands, we work with retail, we work with labs, we work with ancillary, we work with professional services. We're good. We're fluent in cannabis. But if you work with somebody who's not, good luck because you're setting out on a major journey. John, you remember what a steep learning curve this is, right? Remember when you first got in, you're like, whoa, this is a lot to learn.
To learn just, I started at the dispensary level. I came from corporate America and decided to manage a dispensary. And I had to learn, how to do the math on eighths, quarters, ounces, everything else. So, how many grams, all that good stuff. So yeah, from the jump, there is a steep learning curve. And I can also speak from past experience in leading teams for other organizations and working with agencies that were not fluent in cannabis. And as you know, agencies charge on an hourly retainer basis. You have a certain amount of hours each month. And so when you are dedicating a number of those hours to educating an agency on cannabis and the basics, because there are a number of pitfalls that can make you look silly if your agency says or does something that the rest of the agency is going to be like, what in the world does that mean? Or shouldn't they know better? And you don't want that. So to have somebody that, like a Grasslands, that understands some of those potential pitfalls, the terminology that should be used in the agency, what's going to impress somebody or maybe turn somebody off. You need to know those things. And I personally have spent hours educating people about some of those things. And I'd rather, if I was going to hire an agency, have them already know that so we can jump into the work that they really need to do, which is spread my good story to the people that need to see it.
Absolutely, man. I mean, in short, it saves you time, it saves you money, and it also saves you potential embarrassment. Because John, I mean, as a journalist, like I still get pitches to this day. I got a lot more when I was a full-time journalist 4 years ago, writing about cannabis at the Denver Post. Right. But you know what? Being somebody who is knowledgeable about this space, you can see through the people who are trying to fake that knowledge very quickly. And if I'm getting a publicist reaching out to me as a journalist, and it's clear that publicist has no idea what he or she is talking about, goodbye. Your publicist's lack of knowledge, lack of passion will rub off on your own brand and will create issues for you down the road. So yeah, without a doubt, whether you're hiring us, hiring somebody else, hire somebody who's fluent in cannabis, save yourself the time, money, and embarrassment.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, thanks so much, Ricardo, again, for your insight. As always, you can learn much more about this topic, as well as many, many others that have to do with PR and cannabis marketing at our website, mygrasslands.com. Please follow us on LinkedIn at Grasslands Agency. I'm John Swoboda. Please always feel free to send all of your cannabis marketing and PR questions to me directly at my email, which is johnjohn@mygrasslands.com. Thank you again, Ricardo. It's been an absolute pleasure sharing this knowledge and learning from you, and hopefully sharing this to our friends and colleagues.
We're going to do some more down the road, my friend. Thank you.
Right on. Well, thanks, everyone. And this will wrap up season 1 of Cannabis Marketing 101. We will see you next time for season 2. Thanks, everyone.